It's like, if y'all think he's a devil, then don't go on the show, because you've been hearing stuff like this before you went on the show.
That's what I always think. I'm like, is this show that bad compared to other reality
I don't think
television
so.
shows?
Welcome to Too Much.
Our podcast about, well, whatever.
From issues of the world to topics of lesser grandeur. We've got you covered with a little bit too much to say about everything.
So let's start the show.
I'm the personification of your aunties telling you everything you know that's horrible about yourself, but you really don't want anyone to tell you to your face. Michael.
And I am the real woman in the window, Cody.
Yeah, you want to talk about that? Because I'm kind of pissed. You watched that show without me.
You watched lots of things without me.
Yeah, but nothing that's like good.
I didn't know it was good. I just was like, oh, Netflix movie, okay, I'll turn it on. Thriller, sure.
Trash.
I didn't think it was great.
Well, we watched the Netflix thingy with Trixie and Katya where they react to stuff. And based off their reaction, the snippets I saw, it looked good.
I think their reaction is better than the movie.
Well, seeing their reaction made me feel like I missed out. I'm like,
It had a good story.
I wish I would have seen it.
It had a good story, but I don't know if the movie was great.
But then I think I was telling you that the plot seems like, well, when I saw the trailer months ago, and the trailer kind of told me the entire story already, but looking at the movie itself and the trailer and everything, it feels like I've seen something very similar before. I don't know.
Probably. I can't think of anything.
But what have you been up to?
Doing some renovations on my bathroom.
Nice. Bathroom renovations. People love a handyman.
What have you been up to?
I have been spending a lot of times indoors trying to stay cool.
And it just got hot like 2 days ago. Actually, last week was warm.
Yeah, last week was warm. I did go outside a few times, which was nice, but then the temperature just kept rising, and I was like, I don't want to go outside. I saw a good friend of mine, Miles, that I haven't seen. I haven't seen Miles since, I almost want to say a year. I almost want to say that. It feels like we haven't spent much time since the pandemic, but I know I've seen him at least sometime last year. And we went hiking. It was like the longest walk of my life. It was humid, but I had a lot of fun. Will I be doing that again very soon? I don't know. But, I went to the park last week, and this dog just came up to me.
And you loved it.
I was in heaven. This beautiful little, I don't know what it's called, a poodle, a shih tzu. It's furry, it's white. It's like a feet tall.
A foot.
A foot tall. I was just there minding my own business, doing a vlog for my Patreon. And this dog comes up to me, and the owner is like a few feet away, and they're like, it's okay. They're going to be with you for a while. And I'm like, what? The dog literally comes up. I'm sitting on the grass, sits beside me, right to my left, and starts looking out as if they've known me forever, and they lay down, and I'm just there petting them for like maybe 20 to 30 minutes.
That's so bizarre.
While the owner walks off maybe 50 feet away, doing his own thing, playing games on his phone, scrolling through Instagram, while I'm there petting his dog and doing my video.
Interesting.
And then the dog like gets up when he's ready to, or she, I don't know what the dog is, gets up when they're ready to and goes back to finds the owner. I was like, wow, what a well-behaved dog. So friendly.
Very friendly, very trusting.
Very. I'm like, I could snatch you up right now.
A social dog.
And then it just made me want a dog even more. I bought I bought a dog collar.
For what reason?
For my impending new family member.
So it's impending that quickly.
Listen, I move fast. It's what I want. I bought the collar. I saw it on, where did I see it? Instagram or Twitter? I don't know, but some advertisement popped up and it caught me, as it usually does.
Mm-hmm.
It's a collar that has a plate built into the handle and a water thing, so you can store water and have a little bowl. So if you're walking your dog for a long period of time, you can hydrate them.
Has it have a little bowl?
It's like flat, but then you can push it out.
Oh, well, this sounds so ridiculous.
I don't know. When I saw it,
Trying to have your dog walk around with all this hardware around his neck?
plus it has like no, it's not around the neck. The neck part is fine. The part that I'm holding in my hand, that's where all the hardware is.
Oh, so it's a leash.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's a leash.
I thought it was just the neck thing.
No.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it has a handle. You hold on to it. You can store water in the handle. There's a little bowl in the handle. There's a hook on the bottom where you can put like a bag. Oh, you can store bags into it as well. So if the dog poops, you can take the poop out, put it in a bag, and you don't have to hold the bag in your hand. The bag hangs off the handle. I was like, if I wanted to go hiking with a dog, I could really bring this. It's functional.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good.
And I just bought it.
For how much?
It's like $20 or something.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like,
for a dog leash with all that. I
don't have a dog yet, but I feel like this is a good push in the right direction.
Why do you need to be pushed? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
It's not that I need to be pushed, but it's like, all right, I already have this, so I need to get the dog. The dog is next. I already have research for dogs that I want. I've been looking into this for a few months. If I can find it. I want a dog that's hyperallergenic, of course.
Right.
And that does not shed, because I will refuse to have like dog hair on my coats and my furniture and my bed.
That's usually what makes them hypoallergenic.
Yeah, I'm just saying. These are the things that I don't like about pets, that they shed and the hairs everywhere. But, okay, cannot find the stuff that I saved for the dog I want. But, yeah, it's going to happen.
Good for you.
Thank you. I feel very validated right now. All right, time for some topics from the timeline. Okay, this story I just found out about today. You know the website Shein?
Shein?
Yeah, it's like this Chinese website we buy clothes. It's like one of those things that all the young girls buy stuff from. You can get a nice dress for $20 or something.
Okay, never heard of it.
It's a thing. So they're getting a lot of backlash online because they're selling this phone case. I'll show you. Well, y'all who listening can't see, but it's a black phone case with a black man on it. And this black man has cuffs on his hand, and there is a white hand wearing a blue shirt resembling a police officer's shirt, drawing a chalk outline of this black man on the phone case.
What is the motivation here?
That is a good question. Now, this sells for $1.50. I don't know if that's relevant, but I'm just trying to understand, why would you ever think this is okay to sell a phone case of a black man in cuffs with a white officer drawing a chalk outline? And if you don't know what that is saying, it's literally saying black men are always being incarcerated and ending up dead. The chalk outline is when you have a dead person, well, a corpse, and the police come and they make the outline. I don't know what they think they can say to justify this.
I don't know why anyone would want that on a phone case. Who do they think they were selling that to?
Oh, I have no idea. Now, this is what Shein said. You have brought to our attention that the art is being interpreted as racist, which is contrary to its actual meaning. For those we offended, we sincerely apologize. And in another Twitter post, they say, in response to the phone case, we want to explain that the art was created in reaction to the 2014 murder of Michael Brown in Ferguson and meant to show support to the Black Lives Matter movement. What do you think of that?
That's what I was thinking when I first looked at it. I was like, maybe they're saying like getting arrested is a death sentence. Maybe that's what the message is supposed to be. But I still, even if that was the message, I just don't understand how it's translated in that picture, or why you would want to have that message put out through that picture on your phone case.
I just think it's so bad. They've since taken it off the website,
Of course.
but people are saying that whoever approved this should be fired. Um, I don't care for them saying their intention was something else, and it was to be a commentary on Michael and what happened to him in 2014. It's inappropriate, it's very distasteful, and it should have never even been a thought.
Distasteful is exactly the word there.
I just could never. Who the hell would want to even walk with that on their phone? I would never.
I don't know. I don't know who they thought was buying it.
They're talking about, oh, it's in support of Black Lives Matter. I bet you this: nobody who is in support of Black Lives Matter would have that phone case.
That phone case.
I just see a bunch of supremacist and KKK members walking around with that type of shit. It's one freaking doodle short of a noose around some black person's neck. I just don't think it's appropriate. The worst. What do you have to say about...
That's messed up.
It is. But you wrote a story earlier this week about this beautiful celebrity that I'm in love with that has had a very interesting time in the media with her relationships. And now she's married.
Yeah, Ariana Grande got married surprisingly the other day.
Surprisingly indeed.
Not surprisingly for her, I guess. Surprisingly for us.
Well, yes, us.
Like, it seemed like it was planned. She didn't just run off to Vegas or something like that.
When I first heard about it, I was like, wait, was this like a shotgun thing? Or was this...
No, it was like a planned...
An elopement?
No, it was a planned wedding ceremony with just... I guess they say there was only 20 people there.
Okay.
From both sides of their families. It was in her backyard.
So 20 from each side or 20 in total?
I guess 20 in total.
Wow, that's a very intimate wedding.
Well, pandemic.
True, it's very safe. Yeah. I kind of like that idea. I think I told you at one point, I don't know of 100 people I would want to invite to my wedding.
Right. But that's a small wedding.
Yeah, it's very small.
20? They said there was no real ceremony. It was more like informal... No, like, standing up in front of people and I now pronounce you this and that, and, you know?
So they probably didn't do the ceremony, they just signed the papers and had
Well, no, they said they did, like, informal I do's. But maybe it was, like, kind of like a reception setup where you'd say I do, like, sitting at the table, like, the head of the table or whatever, and then people just dance and have dinner, and that's it.
I love that for her, but I don't know who she's with. Who's this guy?
He's a real estate agent. He looks like he's like 16.
Yeah, he looked pretty young.
Yeah, but he's a real estate agent, and I think they got introduced because she was like looking at properties. So whatever company she was with, they like set her up with this guy, and then they hit it off. They've only been together
since the pandemic.
Yeah, I think they started dating like January of last year.
Wow. They started dating January of last year, and they're already married.
A year and a half later.
I love that for them.
I think they got engaged at Christmas.
You know what?
Christmas time.
If it works, it works. I mean, I don't think she's too young to be married. I think she's a great age to start a life with someone.
I don't know.
Why? Like, she's mature enough for it, I'm sure, because...
What do you mean you're sure?
I just feel like if you have been thrusted into adulthood earlier on in life, as she has been working since she's a teenager, and having all these responsibilities of being somebody else's boss, a bunch of lives are in her hands. If she doesn't make music, a bunch of people can't eat. She understands responsibility. She understands work ethic. She has seen a lot in the entertainment industry. And I think she's a level-headed person. Him, I don't know much about him, but I'm pretty sure they work. And why not? Why wait to get married in your 30s?
Maturity.
Please, I know a lot of 30-year-olds that are dumb as bricks. There's no... As long as you are of a legal age to be married, if you feel like you are... ready for it, go for it. At one point, I used to be like, no marriage until at least after 25. But you know what? If you don't want to go out and sow your seeds, and if you don't want to go out and have a bunch of life experience with other people before settling down with one person, and you feel like this person you're with is the person for you forever, go for it. Don't wait.
I don't know if I agree.
Yeah, because of what though?
I think you should just kind of live your life. People change.
You know my stance on people changing.
I think people change. So it's like,
But
in your 20s, it's like, okay, you just finished like education. You're trying to build a career. Maybe focus on a career. Focus on some adult friendships. You know what I mean? If a serious relationship comes up, then it comes up. And you can be in a serious relationship. Like, marriage isn't everything. You can be in a serious relationship with that person for years.
it works for some people. Maya Rudolph, she's been with her husband. Well, she calls him her husband, but they're just partners, and they have 4 kids. They've been together for 20 years.
There you go.
It works for some people, you know.
There you go.
Not everybody.
Then once you work on your career, buy a house, and then maybe you can start saving for a wedding. Weddings are expensive.
I don't feel like weddings are expensive, but then again, that's
you don't
just
have to
me.
feel like that. They are.
Well, expensive for y'all. I feel like you can have a nice wedding for a decent amount of money.
What's a decent amount of money?
I feel like if you like, I don't want 100 and something people at my wedding.
Okay.
I don't know that much people. I don't like that much people. I feel like I could spend $20,000 and get a decent wedding.
So you're going on record saying that you don't think $20,000 is a lot of money because that's what you just said.
For a wedding, no.
But that's that's what I'm saying. That's a lot of money. Some people might want to buy a house first, and then you start saving for a wedding. You're not going to save $20,000 in 1 year.
It's possible.
It's possible, but probably not.
Well, I'm talking for myself. Those of you who, and you can be resourceful. A lot of people do like DIY stuff.
Yeah. It depends on what kind of wedding you have. Obviously, you can get married for just the price of a wedding permit.
Exactly.
That's it.
Go to Vegas.
It depends on what kind of
do a wedding and
you want to have.
I implore all young people, go to Vegas. You have the wedding in the chapel downstairs, and you go back upstairs to your room, and that's the honeymoon. One-stop shop. It's done.
You could do the same thing in your local town.
Yeah. Better do that too. Go to the Holiday Inn or the Ramada Inn down the street after you go to the Justice of the Peace.
Exactly. Did you see, what's his name?
Billy Porter?
Yeah, Billy Porter on the cover of the Hollywood Reporter this week.
I love the photos. He looked
positive.
Amazing. Yes, the HIV part of the article. I was shocked. I wasn't shocked that he was HIV positive. I was shocked that he kept it in for so long.
I mean, but yeah, felt like he needed to.
Right. He said, I think he mentioned at one point he felt silenced by society. And I'm like, all right, Oprah.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, he was. I remember watching the clip. I didn't read it. I was watching it. He was like, I got this death sentence basically, and at the time, because of the stigmas and everything, this was like 14 years ago to today that he found out he was positive. He's like, at that time, it felt like because of the stigma and the fear of being ridiculed and like persecuted or just judged, that silenced me. And I'm like, yeah, I get it.
That makes more sense. He didn't want to be discriminated against in his career and things like that.
I'm proud of him. I think it took a lot of courage and strength to say it out loud, first of all. But, damn, that's a heavy-ass secret to hold on to for over a decade.
I know. And he said he didn't really tell anyone. Like, the people who needed to know knew.
So it would
which
be
was
like
probably
his
like
partner.
a handful of people. Because he didn't tell his mom.
I know. He was like, I'm planning to tell the world, so I guess I have to tell my mom first. I was like, wait, so your mom found out this year?
Yeah.
Jesus.
He said during the pandemic.
I wouldn't. I don't know. If my mom already knows about my sexuality, and this disease has been associated with the LGBTQ community since its inception, the disease. And we all know the stigmas and all of that. I feel like your mom already knows who you are as a person, knows your heart, and she's accepting of you. I would have probably, if I were in his position, knowing that, okay, my mom and me were in a decent place and she knows I'm gay, I would tell her because I just feel like I would need my mom's support through something like that.
Well, he said he didn't want to be another statistic.
In my opinion, at that point, when you get that type of sentence, like it or not, you're now a statistic. I mean, everyone's a statistic if you think about it. So
but you know what he means.
You can't run from being a statistic. Just because you're hiding it from the world doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And you're still not a part of that number of people that it's affecting.
But he's pretending that it doesn't exist.
I don't find that to be healthy, but yeah.
I don't know.
You know what was interesting to me? Because when it came out, my first thought was, wow, this is really bold of him and brave to be doing all of this. And then I thought, he's playing this character on Pose. It's their final season. His character is Pray Tell, and Pray Tell has had HIV/AIDS for, in the show, he said maybe 8 years. And he's been 8 or 6 years, something like that. And he's been living with it undetectable. Well, I don't remember him saying undetectable, but he's been living with it, and now he feels like he's dying and whatever. And a lot of the characters on the show have HIV and AIDS, and now he's pretty much playing out his life on screen, but just being more authentic on screen than he is in real life, and being more open about his truth.
Right.
And then I was like, that's amazing, because this must have been really therapeutic for him.
That's what he said.
Can you hear that? I didn't know planes flew nearby here.
Planes fly everywhere.
Not where I live. Like, there are no planes hovering over my house. But yeah, what I was saying, I lost my train of thought. His castmates, I don't recall any of them coming out with a statement in support of him. You told me that MJ Rodriguez, that plays Blanca on the show, posted his article.
The magazine cover.
The magazine cover on her story. And that was it.
And so did, who plays his boyfriend? The Pope guy?
Yeah, Daniel Pope or something?
Daniel.
No.
I think it's Jeremy.
I don't know.
He posted it on his story the next day because he had a magazine cover come out the same day.
Oh, he was on a magazine too?
Yeah.
Nice.
So he posted a picture of him and A$AP Rocky's cover and Billy's cover the next day on his story.
But it's like, okay, you're posting the cover of the magazine photo shoot on your story. To me, that says, I like the pictures. And that's fine, because the pictures were fire. The pictures were really good. Billy Porter looked amazing. But is anyone going to say, I am proud of you, Billy, for speaking your truth and for coming out with this very difficult, story to tell? Or, we support you, Billy. And this just goes to show that
I don't think they're close like that.
The rumors are true. They're not close on that set. And I was so sad when Pose was announced that it's going to be their final season. God, I feel like I'm so annoyed of these kids. This neighborhood. It's a long holiday weekend here in Canada, and all the kids in the neighborhood all last night just been using firecrackers and those cheap ass, what do you call them? Sparklers, and the other thing that's making all the noise.
Fireworks.
Well, yeah, that. Some cheap ass fireworks.
Because sparklers don't make noise.
Oh, they stopped. But what time is it now? It's just in the afternoon. They're starting again. Oh my goodness.
I told you it's a long weekend. It's going to be every day.
I cannot. I need to go to a retirement village. Old people don't make this much noise. Yeah, so I was pretty saddened when the Pose was announced that they were going to end the show. But now that I'm realizing that, oh, the rumors are true, they don't get along, and they're not really a family as Pose and like the storyline of the show, promotes, it makes me kind of not care for the show to continue. It's like, if y'all don't get along in real life, I don't really want to see y'all playing Kumbaya on screen.
But they're actors, they're not playing their own stories.
I understand, but I'm just saying, as a fan of the show, I like to know, just like everyone likes to know, that when people think of like Friends, the TV show, they want to believe that these people are actually friends in real life.
Right. In a perfect world, but it doesn't change anything about the show.
It does for me. No, I'm being really honest here. It does for me, because Pose is all about family and love. And when I think of it, I'm really hoping that these people behind the characters can give some semblance of what they're preaching on screen in real life. I'm not saying they have to be saints, but I would like them to be cordial and nice to each other.
I think they're cordial. I just don't think they're friends.
No. I remember a few years ago when Billy won that award from something.
The Emmys?
Maybe it was an Emmy. And he was asked a question from a reporter, like, what do you think about the fact that your castmates are mostly transgendered women and none of them were nominated in this category or in whatever category? And I think Billy's response was, when it's their time, it will be their time. Something to that effect. He was like, when it's their time, they will get their shine. I've been doing this for 20-something years or 30-something years, and now it's my time. I didn't think his response was the best response. And I know a few of them on the show were like, oh, why are they asking this man to speak for us? He's not a trans woman.
Oh, God.
And I know some of the cast members on the show, the girl that plays Angel, she wasn't happy about it. She was vocal on her Twitter. But I would have hoped that they would have moved past it, because everyone, when they come on interviews, everyone talks as if they're so freaking enlightened and so woke and so, open and loving. I would assume that, okay, if we're going to work together, we'd have a conversation and push this in the past, like leave it in the past. But no, they didn't. So
they may have, but they're just not, doesn't mean they're friends. They're just coworkers. They like each other as coworkers and not outside of work.
I'm glad they're canceling this damn show. I'm going to keep reacting to it for the end of the rest of the season, but since they're not close, off with them. Go on somewhere else, go work with some other people.
Jeez.
I'm just mad because I really wanted them to be a family in and out of the show. But that's that. Okay, this week we're talking about unsolicited advice or unsolicited opinions. Are you known for giving unsolicited opinions on things?
Yes. Certain things probably.
Yes.
Some things not at all. I just keep my mouth shut, I guess.
Sometimes you say some things I'm like, ain't nobody asked you nothing.
You think you can tell your friends your opinions?
Nobody asked you nothing. But it's fine because I'm the same way, so I deal with it. What are some topics that you should just never give unsolicited advice or opinions on, in your opinion? Yeah, obviously.
Is there any?
Of course. I feel like there are things you should just not say anything about if
someone's thinking of having an abortion.
You should not give an opinion?
Yeah.
I agree. I would not give anyone my opinion on that if they're like, I want to go toss this.
I don't know if I can think of anything else.
I wouldn't give anyone my unsolicited opinion on their weight, their sexuality, their gender identity, anything.
Oh yeah, unsolicited.
Anything like that's too personal. I will give you unsolicited opinion on your outfit though.
Right.
I'm joking. It depends.
No, you're not.
If I know you, then yeah. If I know you, I'll be like, "Are you sure about that choice?" I'm not gonna just see some random person down the street looking a mess and being like, "Hi, did you mean to dress this way today?"
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
All right, I'm going to ask you some topics, and I want your unsolicited opinion on these things. What do you think of the female rap industry today?
That's a very broad question.
All right, are they any good?
Are female rappers any good?
Like female rap versus male rap. What's your opinion?
That it's just as good.
Just as good?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
in the female rap industry right now, when you think of the female rappers out now, like Mulatto, is that her new name?
She changed her name to Lotto.
Lotto, okay. Lotto, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, the City Girls. Who I don't know who else I'm not thinking of because I don't know a lot of them. Versus people like The Brat, Foxy Brown, Lil Kim, and Queen Latifah. Has female rap gotten better? Or is it just more popular?
I think it's just more popular. That's not to say that it was bad. You can probably hear this dog barking all over the sky.
I just started thinking about it. I'm like, these people and their dogs, and I've never heard a dog barking before.
Oh, dogs bark. But the windows are open.
Oh,
Not in this room, but in the other room. Anyways, I just don't think you can really compare it. It's just a different time. People rap different then, and they rap different now. The style is not the same.
Yeah. I don't like the rapping now. I don't like it.
That's fine.
I liked it more when it felt like storytelling and it felt like poetry. I followed along better. Now it feels like just a lot of words that rhyme together. And I'm not saying that's all that I'm getting from female rap today, but just rap in general. Most of it these days, I don't get it. I listen to it. Sometimes I even look at my phone to see the lyrics. And it's just a bunch of words that kind of rhyme together. Sorry. I don't know what they're trying to convey.
It's just a different style.
Yeah, the mumble thing that they talk about. You know, it's funny. Rappers have graduated into this mumble thing, and then singers have graduated into this whisper thing.
I mean, wasn't whisper always a thing?
Name an old school artist that whispered.
I don't know. Name a new school artist that's whispering.
Janelle Aiko. Yeah.
So just that like soft singing.
Soft to the point where I don't even know what they're saying. What's her name? She won like 50 Grammys the other day. She had the green hair. Then she did a photo shoot with the blonde. Billie Eilish. She whispers. I remember. When she was big, I didn't really know who she was, but I recently learned about her. I downloaded a few of her songs and I got into them. But the first time I heard it, I was like, "It's very hard to hear you."
It's because you're like an old person, and I'm sure there's people whispering back then too, like on a jazz record. Yeah.
Ella was blowing.
No, but I'm saying there's whispering too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure.
I don't know. Back in the day, people sang. I'm telling you, man.
People still sing now.
Yeah, some people sang. What do you think about the COVID vaccine? For it, against it? Give us your unsolicited advice. You're advising the people now. Everyone, shh. Listen carefully. Cody's going to advise you on what to do about your body with
No,
COVID.
I'm not. I'm for it.
Have you gotten it?
No, I need to make an appointment though. I am gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
But the like, well, here where we are, it's been such a to-do to actually get it.
Yeah, I remember calling and trying to get through to people, and I'm like, I'm not trying to do all this to get this shot.
It's like there was none, and now that there is none, or now that there is some, everyone's like clamoring to get them. There's these wait lines. Sometimes they open up like pop-up clinics, but then the lines are like around the block at like 6 a.m.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do all of that. I'll just wait until it's available in my pharmacy across the street. I'll pop by and get it. I just don't want
I
it to
think
be a
that will
big
be
to-do.
months from now.
I'm okay with waiting. Plus, I was going to get it, and that same week, everyone was like, well, not everyone. On the news, I'm seeing the governor for New York eating burgers on TV talking about if you get the shot, you'll get a free meal. I was like, this is very weird. And then this other governor from like Ohio or some other middle of the road state, I don't know,
Middle of the road, Midwest.
they middle of the road people, same thing.
That's so offensive.
If you're from one of those states listening, love you. Um, One of those governors were like, if you get the shot, you'll be entered into a lottery. And it just creeped me out because I don't feel like you should be bribing people to get this shot. When you try to bribe someone to do something, it kind of puts that feeling in the air that what you're telling them to do is probably not that great for them, but you want it, but it will be beneficial to you if they do it.
So I ask you, what are they supposed to do?
Tell people to get it. If they want to get it, they get it. If they don't get it, then it's their business.
It's everyone's business, though. That's the point.
A lot of people are walking around with no vaccines at all. Literally no vaccines. No, none for polio, none for rickets, none for nothing.
Some people, not a lot of people.
Plenty. We don't know that, but there's a big community online of anti-vaxxers. We've known this for years, and everyone else who got the vaccine go about their lives, and those anti-vaxxers, they go about theirs. So I'm saying, give people the information, proper information, and leave it up to them to go get it if they want to.
So what happens when they don't?
Then you roll with the punches because you cannot force people to do it. And if you want to make it into like a federal law, that everyone has to get it, then do that. But I don't like when they're bribing people. It creeps me out. That's all.
It doesn't creep me out. They need to have incentive programs for people to go get the vaccine. The whole point of us getting vaccinated is so that we have herd immunity. A certain percentage of people need to get vaccinated in order to do that. So if we're not meeting those percentages, then we have to incentivize.
Well, keep educating people. Don't incentivize it. Because if you educate them on the benefits, that's incentive enough.
I think everyone knows the benefits of it.
Well, no, some people still don't believe in what they're saying, so they need to just get other people to.
Well, there's a difference between not believing and not knowing. They've already been told what the benefits are; they just don't believe it.
Yeah, because anyways, that's a long conversation, guys. I could go on and on about this because you can tell me the benefits are so and so, but when the CDC gives out conflicting information every other week, it's hard to believe them. No, and I'm not even a Megan stan. I haven't watched The View in a while, to be honest.
Sounds like you watch it every day with these lines.
Wait, what? Oh, okay. Rude. There's certain things that Megan says, and I'm like, I get it. I'm not a Republican, but I get what she's saying. It's not hard for you to.
She complains because the CDC one day says something and then they say something different the next week.
I'm not here to defend Meghan McCain. Let's get that straight. So I don't care what she says on a daily.
But you're saying that you agree with her, and that's.
Can I finish my thought? Then you wouldn't think that. I don't say I agree with everything she says.
That's not what I said.
But let me finish. Sometimes, some things she says, I'm like, I get why she's saying it, and a lot of people do think that way, and a lot of people do have those same beliefs. I will go by what the CDC says for the most part. I'll wear my mask. I will wash my hands. I'm already very careful. I'm not out here trying to be around a bunch of people. First of all, I don't like people like that. But when they say you can get the vaccine, but then the vaccine, it's not going to protect you forever, and it's going to be something you have to take every year, like a flu shot. And even when everyone has a vaccine, we're still going to have to like continue living this way to a certain extent, but with just more things open. And then they're saying there is more variants, and the vaccine we have now probably won't be protecting us from some of the new variants that are coming out. Then it almost feels like, why didn't y'all just take more time to make this thing right the first time so I don't have to get poked 50 times? That's my final thought on it.
The vaccines are pretty proven to be protecting against the variants.
That's not true. But what do you think about Black Twitter? Is it too powerful?
Is it too powerful? No, I don't think so.
Really?
Why would it be too
I
powerful?
don't know. I feel like Black Twitter can make you or break you. And then I also think, what the hell is Black Twitter? You know?
It's just black people on Twitter.
I know. Do you think Black Twitter created cancel culture?
No.
Where do you think cancel culture came from?
Just people wanting people to be held accountable.
Okay.
Didn't cancel culture really become big with Me Too?
Kind of, sort of. I think when Matt Lauer lost his job and when the accusations came out and then people started getting fired for these types of accusations and all that type of stuff. I guess everyone started expecting if you do something wrong, you lose your job right away. It's like, take everything from that person.
Yeah, I think there was that, and then also, you know, like the music stands on Twitter when like a pop star would do something, and then they would trend like blah blah is over, or like Kim Kardashian is over party. That was not Black Twitter.
I was so confused when that first party whatever over came out because I was, I'm not a Twitter person. I don't really use Twitter that much. And I saw the hashtag. I was like, what does it mean? Somebody party over.
Is over party.
Is over party. See, I don't even remember what it is. I was like, why is... I get it if you say Kim Kardashian canceled. But Kim Kardashian is over party? What's a party for?
You're celebrating that she's over.
Wow. Just wow. Since of late, maybe in the past 4 or 5 years, but more recently now, anytime someone has an argument, one of the first things they say is, "You're gaslighting me." What's your opinion on this term and how much it's being used in arguments and in debates? If you have an opinion and you share it with someone, it's automatically gaslighting, is it not?
No. Gaslighting is when someone's...
It's when you're trying to plant a seed. Let me just tell y'all right now. Gaslighting is when you're trying to plant a seed in somebody else to have them think something different from what they already thought. So if I'm debating with you and I'm hammering in my point of view versus yours, because it's a debate, so because we're on opposite sides, I'm by definition gaslighting you. Am I not?
I think the gaslighting is because it comes in when what you're saying is correct and the other person's trying to make you feel like it's not correct.
Yeah, but that's a debate. And, it is what it is.
Or when you're like, I feel this way, and the other person's like, there's no reason for you to feel that way. Why do you feel that way? That kind of thing. Like invalidating your feelings.
I understand the whole concept of it, and yes, that is gaslighting. But I guess my stance on it is I personally wouldn't, because I'm stubborn, and I have conviction in what I believe in. So if someone's like trying to tell me otherwise from what I already believe in and what my stance is, or trying to invalidate my feelings or my opinions, I wouldn't be screaming gaslighting. I'd just be like, you're crazy. I know what I know, and I'm going to stick with that. How about that? But every time an argument pops up online, mostly online, because that's where people argue these days, everyone yells, "You're a gaslighter. You're a gaslighter." And I don't know if it's always a term that needs to be used. It feels kind of overused, like a buzzword at this point.
Yeah, of course, it's a buzzword, and it might be overused, but I think that's just because it's kind of like a new
term.
Yeah, people have found a word that defines that feeling, and they didn't have a word for that before. So now it's being overused. Give it a few years. I'm sure it'll die down.
I hope it dies down with woke. I want people to like throw woke through the
I
window.
don't think anyone really uses that anymore.
Well, that's good. Another thing I want your opinion on. If you follow us, then you probably know I react to Drag Race every single week. And last season, season 13, there was a contestant on Drag Race called Tamisha Iman. And she has stirred up a lot of controversy over the past month or so. And because of all that she caused, the Vixen got involved, and Monet Exchange was like the recipient of a lot of accusations. What are your thoughts about Tamisha and the Vixen versus Monet Exchange?
Tamisha and the Vixen versus Monet Exchange. I think the Vixen didn't. There was no reason for her to even get involved.
I agree.
I mean, I guess Tamisha brought her name up.
Yeah, but
she could have left it there.
She could have. Tamisha brought up the Vixen and brought up Tyra Sanchez. And Tyra Sanchez, well, formerly known as Tyra Sanchez, now goes by James, put out a Facebook statement saying, I would like no part in this. I am not here for the drama. Please don't include me. And that was the only statement. And it was done right there. And from then on out, no one ever brought up James. But the Vixen was like, I am here to defend Tamisha.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who have been living under a rock, Tamisha Iman was upset with the WoW producers and Drag Race because they were controlling content and what she said. Which, in my opinion, it comes with the territory. If you sign a reality TV contract, they own you for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So get over it, girl. That's what you signed up to. You'd always talk about your lawyer. You should have them. Anyone out there listening, if you're going on Big Brother, if you're going on freaking Cupcake Wars, read your contract. Yeah. Because you might not be able to do certain types of work or accept certain types of gigs because you've signed this contract.
Yeah.
It's just a reality TV thing. It's a business at the end of the day. They're not putting you on TV just for your benefit. It's for their benefit, mostly. She was upset about that, and she probably saw that Monet was making comments about her outfits on a show that does that, a reaction show, like I do. I make comments on everyone's outfit too. A lot of people do it. It's a market on YouTube, you know? And she was mad about it, and she said she's going to make a example out of Monet. She talked about it for a while, said she's going to read her on Tuesday. She never did. And then she brought the Vixen up and say girls like her and the Vixen have been given a raw deal on the show. And it's kind of two different things. It's like, I'm upset with Monet because Monet talked badly about my outfits. But I'm upset with the show because the show treats me and the Vixen and other girls like shit. And we're some black girls that are like real black girls, not the fake black ones, which was a really weird statement. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. And so the Vixen jumped in and kind of meshed the two together. Because Tamisha mentioned the Vixen as it relates to her treatment on the show, mm-hmm. and Tamisha mentioned Monet as it relates to her Monet giving opinions on her outfits. But the Vixen was like, how about we just take our treatment on the show, the blackness part of it, and throw Monet in there too. And that's where the Vixen and Monet started having their beef, and Tamisha kind of just took a backseat because Tamisha realized she wasn't handling her thing the proper way. So Tamisha has been silent for a minute, and I'm happy for that because she needs time to recalibrate and come back better. The Vixen said that Monet is kind of anti-black. How do you feel about black people telling other black people they're not black enough?
It's terrible. Definitely. For sure. I mean, she just seems like she's going at Monet for no particular reason, just like kind of a punching bag for her frustrations with her own Drag Race experience, and then, you know, projecting it on a black queen who benefited greatly from her experience on Drag Race.
Speaking of benefiting greatly from the Drag Race experience as a black queen, how many black queens have benefited positively from the show? You think about Bob the Drag Queen, Monet Exchange, Shea Coulee,
Latrice.
Latrice Royale. I mean, Jada, I wouldn't even say Jada Hall yet, because it's still too new to tell if she's going to fall into obscurity or not.
Right. I mean, she's benefited so far.
So far, she's doing pretty good.
Jasmine Masters.
Jasmine Masters, and yeah, she's been doing pretty good from Drag Race, I guess. But we have 6 girls from hundreds, and a bunch of them have been black. And these are the only girls we can think of that have benefited greatly from the show. Why do you think they've benefited from the show and not people like the Vixen?
I think that a lot of them probably play the game.
Okay. But I think I don't know who said this, but I read one of the tweets that were like, a palatable type of black versus a outspoken, type of black person. And the girls that are making it and richer and getting more deals because of the show, they're the ones that are more palatable. They come on the show. Oh, Asia O'Hara, she is doing pretty well since the show ended. She's been on the World since she's left the show. Naomi Smalls as well.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, 8 girls.
Kennedy Davenport.
Kennedy has, I wouldn't say she's been benefiting greatly from the show. She's done pretty well for herself, as she's always done. But I don't see her getting brand deals and doing a bunch of stuff.
No, but she's richer now than she would have been if she wasn't on the show.
True. I mean, all of them are, to an extent.
Exactly.
I just think every person is different. Every white person is different. Every black person is different. You're not going to find... We're both black, but I'm a different type of black than you are, and vice versa. And it's not to say one is blacker than the other. It's just to say that we're individual people. And so we like different things and we navigate the world differently. But we have a common thread, and that's the black. If you're on the show, you went on because you wanted to get some exposure. Mm-hmm. Don't be mad about a contract that everyone in reality TV signs. It's not just... They make it seem like Drag Race is the devil. And RuPaul is the devil. It's like, if y'all think he's a devil, then don't go on the show. Because you've been hearing stuff like this before you went on the show.
That's what I always think. I'm like, is this show that bad compared to other reality television shows? I think it's the same. I think that if you go on other reality shows, you just do not get as famous as you do on Drag Race.
Yeah.
So because you go on Drag Race and you get a bigger platform, then when you start talking shit, we hear about it because you got this platform off of this show. So I don't know. Nothing's perfect, but like, don't you kind of have to weigh, the pros and cons of the whole experience?
Of course. But I feel like it's kind of that thing with our community, the LGBTQIA+2 community. It's that thing where everyone wants to complain about something. And I'm not coming at y'all. Maybe I am. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I said what I said. My back's real broad. It feels like even when they do something artistically for someone, if you do my hair, my makeup, my garment, and I pay you for it, then they get mad when you don't tag them in a freaking Instagram post. If I go to Walgreens and I buy an apple and I take a picture eating that apple, I don't need to say in the post, by the way, I bought this at Walgreens. Because my receipt made sure I don't have to do that. This is not a free publicity thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about these types of things. If I want to say it, it's up to me. If I don't feel like it, no one should come down my throat to be like, you're not giving credit. Bitch, the credit was the check. That check covered it.
Right.
I don't need to say who I'm wearing or what I'm wearing. But they started that trend, I feel like, where they started crying about no one's giving me credit for my brilliance. And I think it's like an artistic thing, not just a gay thing, but just artists being temperamental. So that kind of leads into the girls coming on Drag Race feeling like I'm a star. and I'm not being treated as I think I should be treated, or I have this platform and I'm getting these offers, but I can't do anything because Drag Race is holding me back. But it's not really that they're holding you back. It's that you signed on to be an employee for a certain amount of time, and during this time you can't work for anybody else. And if you want to do outside gigs, you have to consult with your employer. When the contract is up, you can go and work for anybody you want to work for. At the end of the day, Drag Race brought you there. They paid you for each episode you're on. And if you do make it to the end and win, they give you a big fat check. So, yeah, they need to make sure that they make back all the money they've invested in you. Because while they didn't pay for your costumes to come on the show, which I don't think they should ever do, I feel like them giving you this platform means that they need to use you as much as they can to make money off of you. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, the Vixen came for Monet. She said Monet's not black enough. She said Bob stole her charity idea. Which when she said that, I was like, this is stupid. And Bob didn't, by the way, to clarify, but even if Bob did, who would want to monopolize a charity? If I start a charity tomorrow that's called Feed the Pigeons in the Park, and I feel like it's near and dear to my heart, and it's to keep these sky rats alive, and somebody else in New York does a charity similar 5 months later called Feed the Pigeons in Times Square, I am not going to be like, well, they stole my idea to feed the pigeons, and that was my charity. It's like, the pigeons are being fed anyways. Aren't we just happy that pigeons are being fed? And in this case, aren't we just happy that Bob is and Peppermint, they're raising money for black queer people, black queer artists that cannot work right now?
Right.
You want them to, what? You just want your charity to help people in Chicago? You don't want anyone to help people in their cities? You sound crazy.
Mm. Not a fan of the Vixen.
I always felt she was misunderstood. I still think she's misunderstood. I think she has a good heart deep down. However, she has a lot of baggage that she needs a therapist to help her unpack.
Mm-hmm.
And because she isn't unpacking it, she lashes out on people. Even when the people...
Other black people.
Yeah. It's like, it was one thing, it was she was lashing out at white girls for whatever reason. And now it's like, well, no white girls are really stepping on your toes right now, so let's just lash out on the black girls you don't think are going through the same struggle as you. Not every black person is going to grow up on food stamps. Not every black person is going to love rap. Not every black person is going to like fried chicken. Not every black person is going to have the same exact experience. You cannot all be the same people, but at the end of the day, you're all still black. That's how I feel about that. But we're going to pray for the Vixen.
You can pray for her.
Well, I pray for everybody. I'm big on prayer. T.I. and Tiny. Have you heard of their sexual assault charges and allegations?
I didn't hear. I mean, I don't keep up with them, but I heard there was new ones.
I mean, there's so many.
I know.
Do you believe that they're guilty of it?
I mean, I can believe it. Anything's possible, sure. Couples like to do sexual things.
Yeah, because it's like...
And they might not be very savory the way they're doing them.
The wife goes out and gets the girls and brings them back to the house and liquors them up, and then the husband finishes it off. I was like, this is some tag teaming type of thing.
It's terrible.
This is crazy. And they're saying some of the girls are like really young.
Of course.
Which is horrible. Horrible in general to be doing that. They stand by the notion that they're not guilty. They say these women are lying on them. They wrote a song recently saying,
"Oh God,
if you claim that we've been doing these things to you, present the proof, one, and second, show your face." Literally, they're like, why hide behind, I don't want to show my identity, blah, 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 but standing in the corner saying these people did this to me.
Because people are going to hate on them.
Yeah.
If police are investigating, then the police feel like there's something there to investigate.
I guess, but it would be playing devil's advocate, even if it's not true, police would still investigate it. to a certain extent because it's a high profile family. So if it does happen to be true, that's a big bust. That's a career, you know, moving move for you. Uh, do I believe they're guilty? I feel like I could see this happening. It doesn't seem far fetched to me. I will wait for more information and to see what happens in the media.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Not in this world. In this world, it's like you're guilty.
T.I. and Tiny are over party.
I haven't seen that online yet, but it might be coming soon. The black community does stand behind them. Even Tiny's best friend was supporting her in the beginning, but now Tiny's best friend is like, I don't mess with these people. I don't.
Yeah, after 4, 5, 6 allegations.
Yeah, but it all seems real sticky. I'm gonna say lock them up until we find out more information.
What?
That's a joke.
Oh god.
Last night, Lil Naz X performed at Saturday Night Live. The performance was amazing.
I didn't watch it.
I watched a few minutes of it online this morning, and he looked beautiful. And that's all I have to say. He looked amazing. I love looking at this person. I was not a big rap person before. When he first came out with that Old Town Road song, I heard it in passing, but I never downloaded it because I didn't care. But when he came out and I realized he's this young gay guy, black gay guy, that's trying to navigate the world and I saw his presence online and how he dealt with people coming at him for his sexuality and stuff. I was like, you know what? I respect him. I respect him. I think he is a decent person and I'm going to support him. And from then on, I just started downloading his music and supporting his career.
So you still don't like his music, is what you're saying?
I like that Montero thing. The song was fun. It was short. The song was real short.
All songs are short these days.
Is it? It's like 2 minutes.
Because they want you to be able to just repeat it. Repeat, so more streams.
Wow. Okay. So that should tell you guys I don't listen to a lot of new songs. Most of the songs in my phone came out 2016 and way before that. Like, I listened to a lot of 80s and early 2000s. I liked Montero. The video was fire. I liked the song he put out Friday night or something. It's a song, I don't remember the name of it. Sun Goes Down, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the video. I listened to the song. That felt like 30 seconds. It went by so quick. When the video ended, I was like, wait, that's it? Wow. Okay. I like him. I like his artistic view. I like his videos. I like his songs. I'm into it. Oh, the best part of the performance last night. His crotch ripped.
You didn't even see anything.
No, you can't see anything. So for those of you that are going online to look for the video of Lil Naz X performing at Saturday Night Live with a ripped pant crotch, you will not see anything dangling. I'm sorry. It ripped, he covered it, and he kept on moving.
Mm-hmm.
It was cute, though. It was a cute little oops moment.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happens when you wear leather pants that don't have any stretch, I guess.
I know, and he was riding that pole. I think a lot of times rappers, they do their thing in the studio and their songs are real fun, but when they're supposed to perform, it's a little boring. And I love me this woman to death, but she's guilty of it, Nicki Minaj. She's not a performer.
Should have went to the concert with me.
Oh well. When the world opens back up. You know what? She performed a lot when she was in her earlier days. You remember, like, when she was thinner, like when she was just coming on the scene. She would do some really fun performances. But the later days when she was like doing that whole Chung Lee thing, and a little bit before that, I remember seeing her performing on some awards shows, and I was like, damn, she's just... Either she's not able to keep up with choreography, or she just didn't care. But I think that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. Go subscribe to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening to us on, or even if it's on YouTube. Give us a comment. Let us know what your what your unsolicited opinions are about our podcast and any other topics that we mentioned. Love you guys for listening. Bye.